in Week 3. The Browns dominated their first matchup against the Steelers. Can Pittsburgh get revenge? Find out next on Madden Football.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to Western Pennsylvania and Heinz Field in the Steel City of Pittsburgh. This was the scene just a few moments ago as the Pittsburgh faithful were fired up by the hometown Steelers taking the field. They're all set as they'll match up with the Cleveland Browns. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Steeler ball club entering play. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
And they looked awfully good last week and came away with a 2-touchdown victory. They did have a few reasons for concern defensively, but all in all, they'll take a repeat here if they could get it.
Meanwhile, for the Browns here, they've gone a full half season since their last loss, winners of 8 in a row.
And you don't get on win streaks like this without your defense playing a big role. They've created quite an identity, and I know they want and expect this streak to get to 9.
3/4 of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. No run back here on the opening kickoff as we'll start at the 25. So the Steelers offense getting set for their first drive. And they will be led out by their 6'4 quarterback.
His game last week reminded me of the old song, Accentuate the Positive, because that's about all he did, right?
Yeah.
3 touchdown passes, over 300 yards in the air, receivers happy.
And they got the win.
Got the win. If you're a running back that likes to catch passes, they're happy as well. Big-time game.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Got a man. It's Dawgpound Brown complete. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. The play action fake. They'll rush coming, and he's taken down. Micah Parsons in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 for him now on the year. A CD, you know, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything.
And it appears that this was just a letdown from the offensive line, but they do have a tough job because if you're a big tackle out there on the perimeter, sometimes you don't have the agility to keep up with the defensive end who's looking to wreak havoc in the backfield, and he got there and put his man on the ground.
And if you're wondering just how quickly that sack occurred, the next-gen stats tell us 2.6 seconds is all he had to throw the football. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Returning it, here's Hamler. It's a 43-yard punt, a return of 5, and the Browns will take over 1st and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They're led by the #1 overall pick in the 2021 draft, Trevor Lawrence.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost,
and that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. A big play there. His 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Browns have taken the early lead. Both sides of the football in sync early. You force the 3 and out, and then you take it down, score points.
You know what that tells me? They saw their game plan really well. Head coach said, listen, we're just going to stop them on 3 and out. We're going to take the ball downfield and score. But he also told them how it was going to happen. They're going to run this. We're going to stuff it. Then we're going to take the ball. They won't be able to keep up with us. And they got it done.
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their second offensive possession. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
First carry for James Conner, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. A check on the numbers last week for Conner. Pretty good as he found himself in the end zone on 2 separate occasions.
And those are the most important numbers because no matter what you pile up prior to the goal line, getting in is all that matters. Putting those numbers up on the board, and they love them when they're 6s.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here comes the blitz as they look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Well, this defense for the Browns, they were very good a week ago in that win over Minnesota.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Blitz forthcoming as he'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete as well.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things. Get back to what works.
On is the punter man as he boots this one away. We'll call it a 42-yard punt, 3 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Browns offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And as we take a look at the playoff picture, certainly still a lot of jostling to go in these final few weeks. For the moment, they would be a wild card team. Far from locked up, but that's why this is exciting. These last few weeks, a lot to play for.
So much to play for. And remember, 7 teams in each conference go to the playoffs instead of 6. And not to mention, remember when the league made that move a few seasons ago to put divisional games at the end of the year? So you get to week 16 and 17, you're playing for playoff spots, and you're playing divisional games. Couldn't be more exciting than that.
A check on the numbers for Chubb from a week ago. There was no answer for him defensively. Over 200 yards, 2 touchdowns to boot.
And that was a fun film to watch because a few of those runs, it was apparent he was just not going to be denied. And his team is hoping that carries over to this week as well.
Now a throw here to his running back. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 20-yard line.
Well, it's almost as if they didn't leave the field after their first drive. They picked right up where they left off. Another good throw there. And this offense, humming here in the early going.
On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Chubb will get the call running left. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked out before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down. On 3rd down, Lawrence escaping the pressure right. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
One thing that you're going to see from this offense is that they love the matchup with their wide receivers against this secondary. That one wasn't successful, but don't expect them to back away from attacking all game long.
Blankenship's kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So a touchdown on their opening drive and 3 more here, and it adds to their first quarter lead.
Yeah, everything's going according to plan so far because the offense has moved the ball, defense able to do their job, and here the special teams unit comes through with their contribution. A field goal to make it 10-zip.
So after the made field goal, 10-0 here early as the kick's away. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. So with the Steeler offense on their way out, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
First and 10 at the 47.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And his throw here is incomplete. 2nd and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. This is the tight end Fant. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. Back to throw again. And his throw's going to be incomplete. These two teams, you might recall, met up back in September in Week 3, and it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. Again, he'll drop to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Davis. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns 16. A big play there on the catch and run. A first opportunity for the Steelers in the red zone. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16. They'll look to throw again. He's got his big tight end, Fant. And the Steelers are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
Davis. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. His 2nd rushing touchdown of the year and 3rd overall. And the Steelers have now made this a 1-score game. The extra point by Sly is up and good. And the lead is down to a field goal. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. On the return, Tony Pollard from his end zone. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
And that last run good enough to have him surpass for his career. Get this, folks, 12,000 rushing yards.
And how about this? You're in shouting distance now of the top 10 all-time rushers in NFL history. And in short order now, you've got Thurman Thomas, Franco Harris, Marcus Allen, and Edgerrin James right ahead of you. He can zoom past them with just a few more carries.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A big play that time through the air. 34 yards. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's first and goal just outside the 5. They'll run with Chubb. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. Second and goal from inside the 5. Chubb again. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
From the 4 now, third and goal. Pollard is in. Touchdown, Cleveland.
That's it, huh?
Well, they decided to run it in and got it done on third and goal. A lot of times, that's a passing play.
And the kicker just has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And his guys will take a 10-point lead.
Steelers 7. Rodrigo Blankenship set to kick off.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really looked clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. That's caught over the middle by Fant. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big play that time on the catch and run. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 47. He'll look to throw. And this is incomplete. Very lucky to get that one back. That nearly picked. It's 2nd down now. On 2nd down, Connor looking for space. And he's going to get this inside the 30. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Now a throw here, hauled in. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. 2nd and 5. He'll get this to Connor underneath. And they'll get this down to the 10.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Back to throw. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Noah Fant with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Steelers are able to make this a close game again. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And the lead is down to a field goal. So the drive winds up going 75 yards in 7 plays. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Pollard to return from the end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. Now Nick Chubb of the Browns gets set for their next possession. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game.
That's caught inside the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. A great play there with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Browns are able to strike quickly for 6. Well, he's been doing this for a lot of years. The arm strength still there, and he showed it off on that one.
And as that ball was hanging in the air with the receiver streaking downfield to meet it, here in the stadium, you could just sense the crowd thinking, oh, no. And their worst fears were realized as that one turned into a long touchdown.
And to put a bow on it, Next Gen Stats saying that traveled an even 66 yards in the air. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but bottom line, his team's losing. They got to fix something.
And it starts with him. He has to keep that little quarterback strut going right now to make sure that his team sees him as confident. Continue to try and up his game, but just let him know, hey, if I'm around, if I'm the one calling signals and throwing the football, just follow me, we'll get there. Sometimes that will do more to elevate a team than anything else.
See if he has that confidence. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now back to throw. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. Now, I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the... And for the Browns, a nickel set here on 3rd down. They'll look to throw. Got him in. It's Brown. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. A bad time for a roughing penalty, and they get the gift of a 1st and 10.
Mike 42, check, Mike 42.
He'll drop to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Brown. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half.
You can't block me. You can't block me. So Mike 42, Mike 42. Here we go, here we go.
2nd and 1. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Micah Parsons in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for him. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as he'll try to get 3 before half. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the 2nd down play, they burn the timeout, making him sweat out the final few ticks here in the 2nd quarter. Now a field goal forthcoming for the Steelers. And quite a bit of pizza in this box. It's a 53-yard attempt. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And this is back down to a 7-point game. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because you know after the sack there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25.
The Browns drive about to get started. And with Lawrence's arm, they may give him a shot to let this thing rip downfield. We'll see. And now this throw incomplete, and that is how this first half will come to an end. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime.
With both of these offenses having their way, it's not likely they'll need to be doing a whole lot at halftime. But the defenses are definitely in need of some adjusting. And for the call of the second half, let's go back out to Brandon and Charles.
And we will not have a run back here as the second half starts with a touchback. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this 3rd quarter. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. They go play action now. Lawrence. And Shark calls it in. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. A big connection on that one. 39 yards. So after the big play, look at this. All the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. They toss it left side to Chubb. And they're going to lose some on this play. Big knocked back to the 18. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Second down, here's Chubb again. He gets it forward for 4, maybe 5, but the flags fly. And this one could be coming back. Jedrick Wills, former first-round pick, guilty there. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. They run it again with Chubb. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 70 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Well, the terrible towels here at Heinz Field out in full force. Here's 3rd and long.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Flushed out right. Letting one go deep for the end zone. And this one is incomplete.
They've been trying and trying, but they haven't sacked him yet. He's been able to get away and make plays. Tried to make another one downfield right there, but to no avail. They'll have to keep up the pursuit, though, and not let him get hot.
Blankenship's kick is good.
And that will push the lead up to double digits now at 10. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
After the made field goal, here's Blankenship again. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line.
Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2.
And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. They're going to look to throw. This will be caught by Brown. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. On 1st and 10 is Connor. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. They'll stay on the ground with Connor again. And this Browns defense coming to life. They get him behind the line for a 2nd straight play. The run hasn't worked the last couple of plays. Now it's 3rd and 14. Here comes the blitz as they look to throw. And that would be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. The Steelers send out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. It's a 45-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Look at DJ Chark as he and the rest of the offense head back out. And the previous drive put him up over 1,000 yards for the season. So now it's what you like to refer to, my friend, as gravy time, right?
It is. I mean, he's done it, right? He's accomplished the goal. So the good players, they relax a little, they bask in it. They think this is okay, we've done what we set out to do. The great players decide to push that number as high as they possibly can. I don't expect him to have any let-up in his game the rest of the way.
Great thing if you're on the opposite side. He's such a weapon. He just opens things up for the other guys around him.
Yeah, if you're the opposite receiver, you should expect a few passes to come your way, too, because I've got to kick coverage in his direction.
A run for Nick Chubb. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
So, Charles, you talk about this head coach and his future with this franchise. Look, it's been a frustrating year, and I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier in the week.
Yeah, he's trying to say all the right things, isn't he? But he's heard the rumors. He knows what's going on out there. And right now, he is tired of having to answer the question, are you on the hot seat in every meeting with reporters? This week, he kind of said, I've had enough. And I don't blame him. He looks like a guy that may very well be out the door.
From the 38, Lawrence steps away to his left. He's got Thompson here, complete. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break.
Off the play fake, here's Lawrence. He's got it complete to Thompson.
And he's out of bounds, but not before a big pickup that time on what's going to wind up being the final play of the third quarter. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They go play action with Lawrence. They'll roll him out right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
That was J.J. Watt getting in there and getting him to the ground. Well, on that one, they go with a play fake, CD, but I don't think anybody really was fooled. All eyes were fixated on the quarterback, and they got him to the ground.
And to run this play successfully, you've got to make sure that everyone is doing their part. You actually have to sell this play. You've got to sell the run action. Otherwise, why do you stop at the running back? You just run straight for the quarterback and put him on the ground. Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
And no signal yet. I don't think he got in. He didn't. They'll mark him at the 1. Call it no gain, and it's going to be 2nd and goal. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal.
Chubb is into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get them over the goal line.
Blankenship out for the point after.
And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. A 10-play drive that time. And Nick Chubb the one to finish it off as he does so with a touchdown run.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive.
Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case.
Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Browns defense has a touchdown.
Touchdown City, baby.
And that one will pretty much erase any hopes of a fourth quarter comeback.
With emphasis, interception, return for touchdown. Door closed, locked, reinforced.
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good.
And the lead is now 24. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a...
And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down.
Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. They'll set up a throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Brown. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. They'll look to throw here. Quick slant to Brown. And they're going to get him down well short of the first, as he can only get this to the 30. It'll be a gain of 8, but it also lead to a 4th down.
Mike 42, Mike 42, check, Mike 42. Watch the run.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And that is incomplete, but there is a flag. And on 4th down, this is a big call. So they decline the penalty. That seems a little odd.
I'm trying to work through it and work with them to figure out why.
Well, someone's got to be confused.
That's what I think. I'm pretty sure that the bench is saying take the penalty, and somehow in the heat of the moment, they thought they were saying decline the penalty, and that's going to work against them. They should have taken it.
He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And this is going to be intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. And the Steelers are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Their passing game has been spectacular this afternoon. Finally, a win for the defense.
You think maybe there was an adjustment there. Finally gained a measure of, I don't even know if you call it revenge, but got a play done against him, and that's been difficult for them all game long.
A throw left side to start out. That's complete. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. A big play there on the catch and run. Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation. Connor. And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. James Conner with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the interception by the Steeler D leads to a touchdown. They'll look to throw. He's got it. So they convert the 2. That keeps their slim hopes alive as we're back to a 2-score game. Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure, but that makes it a 2-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the 2-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready, because you may need multiples throughout a ball game. There's a great example right there.
4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
On play action, Lawrence. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. They'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more 1st down to help salt this one away. Flush to his right. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off around the 27. And the Steelers are right back in this football game. He violated a big-time no-no in throwing that pick. Rolling right, throwing across his body.
And you know that your dad taught you that in the backyard when you were a tyke.
Yep.
Don't do it. The problem, every now and then you get away with it. This time, not the case.
He's got Johnson. 7 yards, the pickup there. Now the Steelers hustling up to the line of scrimmage. Here's Johnson with a reception. Touchdown! Deontay Johnson.
with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Steelers are able to cut into that deficit. Here we go now as we get set for a big conversion. They'll try and throw for it. And that one is caught. So they convert here, and don't look now, but this one's back to a one-score game. And hold the phone now. This game isn't over yet.
Not at all. Now, get the football back. That's the first thing. However you do it, get the ball back and then manipulate the clock with your offense because you've got to get the ball into the end zone.
A tough one there. They certainly wanted that when they needed it, but they didn't absolutely have to get it. They still do have 3 timeouts.
You're exactly right. They had to attempt it. But even though they didn't get it, as you noted, with 3 timeouts, if they can get these stops on defense, all hope is not lost.
And he's going to have just a couple here with a marker on the field as well. You need your wide receivers as blockers. Sometimes they get a hold.
The big runs are often a result of what they do on the perimeter. In this case, got caught holding, and this one will come back.
Now it looks like he'll throw here. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
You know, you're following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under. CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player?
It's a tough approach, Brandon, because you actually have to do the opposite of what you would think. You know, in your mind, you're thinking, I redouble my efforts, I go harder. In a sense, you have to back off a little bit. You have to do a little bit less. Do what you're supposed to do, but don't take on the pressures of doing more and trying to do your teammates' jobs as well. If you do that, that's really going to lead you to more issues.
He's down inside the 10 to the 8. And it comes on a gain of 8. The Steelers signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And again, it's Chubb. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as it comes with 1:04 left to go in the game. It's 1st and goal and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Now Chubb running right. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. They'll give it to Chubb, and he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it.
And that touchdown should make you feel comfortable. But do you really feel like it's totally over yet?
Not totally, but I think you're pretty much there.
Yeah, you've still got to make sure you stay with it, do all the right things down the stretch, especially on defense. But that touchdown there, you've got to feel good about your chances.
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good.
And the lead is up to 15 now.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
So now the Steelers down by 15. 35 seconds to go. It's an extremely tall order in front of them, but they've got the ball with a 1st down.
Mike 42, Mike 42. They're not ready for this, man. They're not ready for this. They still playing soccer.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive.
And that's complete to Brown. And they'll get him down after a gain of 7, but they'll happily give him that. 7 yards, the pickup there. Completes it to Fant on the right side. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
He's going deep for Brown. And a high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. This is caught. It's Brown. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Browns, the win pushes their record now to 11-2 on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, any slim hopes they had at a playoff berth gone now as they drop to 4-9. And they'll have a tough one at home next week against the Green Bay Packers.